federal government on the mainland collapses is going to be their opportunity for independence.
I mean, because, I'm hearing about Utah going one step closer to having a silver and gold backed currency. I mean, using gold and silver. If all the states did that, Mike, I got to say one thing. The Federal Reserve Act would repeal itself by printing itself out of existence.
Well, I think that's what it's doing right now, but I want to be very, very cautious. I know that people like silver and gold as a monetary base, but there isn't that much of it. And remember, the bankers, the Federal Reserve Bank gets its interest payments in gold. That's why a lot of people are concerned that there may not be anything left in Fort Knox but those tungsten bars. So I want to be very, very cautious about using silver and gold as the basis of a new monetary system, because it just hands us back into the control of the people who have that limited asset, which is right now the bankers. But you can have a monetary system based on any unit of value as long as it is a unit of value and not a unit of debt. And as long as the government, as part of its responsibilities to the people, are in control of the monetary system and the issuance of currency, we'll be okay. It worked during the early formation of the United States of America. And we just need to remember those wise lessons. Private central banks do not exist for the benefit of the country. They exist for the benefit of the bankers. And we just need to remember that. We can use anything as a unit of value. When Hitler turned around Germany's economy by kicking out their private central bank, he made the unit of worth a unit of labor. The paper currency was based on a fixed unit of labor, and everybody knew everybody was willing to work, and that's what made the currency work. There was a story going around about how during the Great Depression in this one town, the local newspaper printed up its own currency that was based on a unit of advertising. And they would go out and buy things with this currency, and whoever got the currency at any time could cash it in for free advertising. Well, not free, but for an equivalent amount of advertising in the newspaper to build their trade. And the currency worked so well that it became the default currency of the town, because the U.S. currency was considered worthless, but this little newspaper currency was reliable. And we're seeing all over the country, states are getting ready to issue their own currency, as they did during, the last, not as great as this one, depression. And it can be made to work, and it doesn't have to be based on silver and gold, and I don't think it should be based on silver and gold, simply because right now the silver and gold is all in the hands of the very same financial institutions that have destroyed the national economy. We just need to decide on something that we all understand is available in supply, ample supply for a monetary unit, and it can't be counterfeited, and we say, okay, we're basing our monetary system on that, and that's what we'll work with, and that will be made to work. All we need to do is make sure that we avoid a private central bank issuing the public currency at interest. It is a machine designed to extract wealth from the people and give it to the bankers in exchange for absolutely nothing. And we need to avoid a debt-based economy because it's a giant pyramid scheme, and it's collapsing right before our eyes.
Well, one thing I got to say one thing. Back like about 5 years ago, I got out of debt. And the reason why a lot of people are having a hard time trying to find jobs is because before the economy started crashing is because a lot of people overextended themselves. And, I don't have that debt. And even if I lose my job, Mike, I still make enough of an income where I don't have too much bills that I can still make it.
Well, you're a very, very fortunate person, and a lot of people were lured into debt, because during the booming housing market that front-loaded this whole mortgage-backed security fraud. A lot of people went into debt buying houses, absolutely convinced that 3 months down the road they were going to sell them at a profit and pay the debt back. And that, was a big, huge scam. And of course, obviously, the bankers do not want people to pay cash for anything. It's always do it on debt. College is too expensive, got to do it on loans. Cars are now too expensive, got to borrow money to do that. And basically, it is by design to trap people into unpayable debt. And it's and then you throw inflation at them to make their dollars worthless, and the trap is sprung. And at some point, the American people have got to get angry. We have to become just as angry as the Egyptians or the Libyans or the Icelanders or the Greeks. What Iceland did worked. I don't know why we're not doing it here. Iceland threw the bankers in jail, that created the mess, fired the government that let it happen, and now today their economy is on the uptick. Their things are getting better in Iceland because they basically told the bankers, look, you made the mess, we're not going to pay for it. And we need to learn that here in the United States of America. We need to regain our willingness to say no to the bankers, because all of the debt they're talking about here is not our personal debt and our credit card debt and all the rest of it. They're talking about $12.3 trillion in debt that have been put on the American people by way of future taxes to keep the bankers out of jail for the mortgage-backed security fraud. It is that simple. And we need to do what Iceland did.
Well, when the Federal Reserve Bank collapses, that Federal Reserve Bank will make a perfect jailhouse for the bankers.
Oh, absolutely. Actually, I want to send them to Guantanamo. We got to take a break. We'll be right back.
Are you or someone you know suffering from high blood pressure, cholesterol, or chest pains? Are you looking for a more natural way to overcome these health challenges? Extendivite is made from herbs known to help with these symptoms. Made from garlic, cayenne, hawthorn, and 4 other herbs, Extendivite goes to work detoxifying heavy metals and killing fungus and virus to enhance your overall health. For only $69.95 plus shipping and handling for a 2-month supply of either capsules or liquid, you too can begin on your path to better health. For more information, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822. Or visit our website at heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Introducing the new Go Berkey Kit, the first of its kind portable water purification system for those on the go. The new Go Berkey system has an amazing output of about 1 gallon an hour. Each Go Berkey kit includes a 1-quart high-quality stainless steel system, complete with a black Berkey purification element, a generic sports bottle, and a nylon carrying case. The whole kit weighs a mere 2¼ pounds. With an expected element life of around 3,000 gallons, you can refill the Go Berkey system up to an incredible 12,000 times before needing to replace the element. The new Go Berkey kit is perfect for backpacking, hiking, emergency packs, bug-out bags, international travel, car emergency kits, or for your desk at home or at work. Get your Go Berkey kit today for only $139 by calling 800-724-2719. That's 800-724-2719. Go to republicbroadcasting.org. The online store, it's a featured product.
Are you still paying your credit cards and so-called bank loans thinking that you owe the money? Do you feel like it's your moral obligation but can't see an end in sight? Well, what if I told you that in truth, you don't owe a single penny, and that the banks know this and hope you don't find out? Here's where we come in. Free2Prosper.com specializes in a profound debt repudiation method which challenges the validity of your so-called debts, morally frees you from the burdens, and protects your property. Our system is often superior to settlement, bankruptcy, or consolidation, which often leave you in a worse situation. If you feel the moral obligation to take care of yourself and your family, then I urge you to consider taking action right now. The economy will not wait. If you want to know more so you can prosper through the economic collapse, all while staying honorable and true to yourself, then call 877-417-8393. That's 877-417-8393. Or visit free2prosper.com right now.
What really happened with your host, Mike Rivero. Join Mike on the air. Call toll-free 800-313-9443. 800-313-9443.
And aloha, America. Welcome back to the show. We got time for one more call. We're going to take Dennis in Michigan. Aloha, Dennis. Welcome to the show. What's on your mind?
Hi, Michael. I just finished viewing about 2/3 of the movie Inside Job that you've talked about. I believe it won the Oscar for Best Documentary of 2010.
And a bunch of other awards all over Europe. It's really a very important movie. Everybody needs to see it.
Yeah, I agree with that 1,000%. It's very well documented, not as MTV-like as Michael Moore's movie about capitalism, movie that he had, but which he did a good job on the 2008 bailout.
Mm-hmm.
He did document that well. But anyway, I'm not done yet, so the jury is still out, but it's doing a great job, but it's still kind of providing cover for the sort of the Fed system of operation, just basically decrying the corruption and doing very well at that.
Yeah.
And that's where it's at right now, where I stopped it off.
Well, I think, the focus was, certainly the current financial...
Have you seen it?
No, I haven't yet. It's actually not been out here in Hawaii yet. I'm going to have to find, order it from Netflix or something. I was looking for it on pay-per-view on the local cable provider, but they don't have it either. So I'm still kind of operating on the basis of the trailers that I've seen. But my sense is that his focus was on the immediate economic crash, which goes back to that mortgage-backed security fraud, getting caught, having to buy back all the fraudulent paper, and dropping the losses on the American people. And that, for the most part, even though the Federal Reserve is definitely complicit in printing up all this funny money to keep the Wall Street bankers out of jail, the Federal Reserve in and of itself did not cause or create that immediate crisis. They're not the initiating event. They're definitely an accessory after the fact. But I think the focus does need to be on Wall Street.
Agree.
Now,
I'd agree with that.
In terms of the Federal Reserve itself and its failings, that has been handled in a lot of other documentaries that are online that we continue to put up there. It's in my article, Bankers Gone Wild, is a pretty good overview of what's going on there. And we understand that Andrew Jackson was correct to say they are a den of vipers, and we need a new Andrew Jackson now. Dennis, I hate to do this to you. I know you got more to say. I'm going to ask you to call back into tomorrow's show because we're basically out of time, and I just wanted to wrap up with one more comment, and this is getting back to the situation in Wisconsin. I am still seeing a major, obviously well-funded propaganda effort all over the blogs, all over the alternative media, all over the social networks to try and portray the situation in Wisconsin as, oh, those gosh darn unions and those teachers, and they make so much money, and, it's all corrupt, and, they need to be put in their place. This is not about teachers, and it's not about the unions, and I don't even like unions. This is about Wall Street going on the biggest financial swindle in history, getting caught, and instead of going to jail, they're going to buy back all the bad paper, and they're going to pay off enough money so that people will drop all the lawsuits and say, all right, we'll let you go around this time, and dropping the losses on the American people. That's what this is about. They're trying to stick the American people with the losses from this criminal enterprise. We cannot let it happen. We'll be back tomorrow at 2 o'clock Central here on the Republic Broadcasting Network. Until then, stay safe, stay well, and aloha, America.